Spoon here for EDLIFE Academy, where we teach teens plus how to win at the game of life. Let's do our SPSs, please. I'm smart, I have a positive self-image, and I am somebody. Rather than doing a formal lesson today, I wanted to talk about what everybody is thinking about, and that is the George Floyd situation, the murder of George Floyd. At first, I didn't want to get involved. I mean, I was aware of it, and I was watching a little bit about it, but I didn't want to get involved because I knew it was going to be emotional. But as the news stories came out and you saw those images and the descriptions, you could not help but get upset. So what I usually do is I get on Facebook, I'll find a quote or a picture, I'll post it, and I'll start a conversation. And that's great because you hear other people's ideas. Some are with you, some are against you, but it's always good to have a conversation because it helps you to think more clearly. So you young folk might be wondering, like, what is up with this? What's all this? Why so much racism? Well, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson here. Back in the day, way back when, America was started out with white people owning black people. They were slaves. Eventually, blacks were set free, but were treated very poorly. Much has changed since then. However, there is still a lot of inequality and racism. The worst of it seems to come out with policing resulting in the killing of unarmed black men. What's worse, this has been going on for years. So here's a question. What should we do about it? Well, if you're like Dr. Martin Luther King, a famous man, back in the day, he would get large groups of people, and he had other groups of people marching through the streets peacefully. Sometimes saying things, most of the times marching quietly. But the point was to let people know that they are not happy with the situation and they want to do something about it. But they knew that they didn't want to cause violence, so they marched peacefully. Through these approaches, he was able to create lots of positive change. These protests don't seem to work anymore. How do we know this? Because the police are still killing innocent black unarmed people. Today, people have decided to take a different approach. They riot. When they riot, that's when you set cars on fire, you break the windows and doors of stores, you go in and you loot, you start stealing stuff. Some people even go as far as throwing things at the police. Let me ask you a very important question. Should we try to get change through protest or rioting? As you think about that answer, your answer, I want you to understand that, or rather, I want you to think about why you chose that answer. And I'll tell you why. Because you are most likely going to have a conversation with friends, family, maybe even a stranger. And during the discussion, you share your ideas, feelings, and thoughts, and they do the same. And this is how you learn about things. One way anyway, but one very important way. You may not agree with that person, but you understand from where they're coming from, which is really important. It allows you to have more empathy. And you may not agree with them again, but still, it gives you an opportunity to really understand and make you more inclined to work out things with that person. So, I want to end with this. It's an emotional time. It's a scary time. I want you to think before you act. Always, always be safe. Always be safe first and foremost. Secondly, keep an open mind. Only then can you learn and perhaps come to a better understanding and get things moving in a positive direction. So I say to you this, keep it learning. Yeah.